90.7 WNCU member supported radio. Oh my goodness, you all. I have somebody special in the studio and I'm excited, but I will just calm down because this is going to be a great conversation today. This is WNCU Cares Artist Series. But the song that you just heard was from this particular artist's album. The album entitled Involve. We have in the studio Kobie Watkins, and that was Third Pew. Now, you wrote that song, well, after reading about your history, and you learned from your father or either watched him as he was playing in the church. Mm-hmm. Did you write that song based off of that memory?
So that's funny because that song was not written by me, but it was inspired by my friend Harold Mims.
Okay, Harold Mims.
Harold Mims and I, we were. Wait a minute, how y'all doing? First of all,
hey everybody! Oh my goodness, this how is the world?
Relax.
Let's take a deep breath. Let's go ahead and inhale. And exhale.
Everybody's like, wait a minute, what is he about to say? How y'all doing out there?
Right.
So if you're listening, hopefully. If not, you'll catch it later. Whatever. Y'all see me is great. How y'all doing? Serena, how you doing? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I remember awesome. Meeting you at BU.
Oh, my Lord.
Seeing you.
Yeah.
Where is BU is still running and operating. But yeah, I remember you hosting the jam sessions. Mm-hmm. And I think I remember you were the new cat in town.
Is that what they say?
Well, I mean, because I'm a dirt. I guess I can call myself a dermite. I went to school here, so I've been here for a few minutes in time, and so on the jazz scene, I remember you playing drums, hosting the set, but you have an extensive career. You've been playing with a lot of different people.
Yeah, and I thank God for my career and the trajectory and the plateauing, and I used to think I used to say it actually out loud, like I just want to just like going up an escalator, one stair at a time, and like if I have to do a lateral, I'll do lateral for a little while, like side to side for a little while to buy it some time, and then I want to keep excelling, and I don't have to do it fast. A real escalator moves slow. So.
Oh man, yes it does. Okay, philosophy here.
So
keep on talking.
I think it's important to have that. For me, I had that dream, and it was like that was my picture of how I wanted my career to be. I was just thinking about like, all right, well, how are you going to talk about your career or whatever? But that's, when you
because the world wants to know who Kobie was. At least I want them to know who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, as a drummer, of course, and also, as a person. And if you're willing to share that would be great. I mean, but you've played with a lot of different people. Sonny Rollins. Yeah. I mean, how was that experience?
That was amazing. Eye-opening. Just that one, I want to drop this one. I just remember once, this is the early, and we've stopped playing or whatever, and the show was over, but he stayed on the stage and played literally for 40 minutes by himself. And all you heard was just saxophone, and I was just like, wow. And he comes back later and goes, man, I shouldn't have to do that, man.
What?
But I felt like the crowd needed to have that.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
He felt like he did not need to do that.
Yeah, but he did it.
For them?
Yeah.
And not for himself?
No, definitely not for himself. And so it was just giving of himself, I thought. It was very, it was crazy. And I was backstage listening.
Yeah.
Because he was going through different songs in this like cadenza. So he's just playing through a bunch of different songs, in and out of lines, just playing, and all you hear is this big sound, and you just like he goes from one song, and I like felt myself crying. I was like, what in the world? Wow. Why is he playing like that? Like death was coming or something. I was like, man. I was like, all right.
Death was coming.
Yeah,
okay.
It felt like something was coming or to an end or something. So, but this was at the beginning. That was 2007, 2008 or something like that. Yeah.
Wow. 2007, 2008. So, well, how does, have you ever delved deep into the music as much as, Sonny Rollins or Arturo Sandoval as you played with, or you said your first album or first live performance was with
Bethany
Pickens.
Yeah. And I didn't know a lot of music then. Everyone I played with gave me tools to get to play with the next person.
Okay.
Everyone.
So it's been a puzzle piece.
It was absolutely. So it's like, okay, grab this, get this, understand. Even if it was just sitting and having a conversation.
Yeah.
Have it like for some strange reason, I find the guys that crack the most jokes. So
because you're a joke cracker.
So they're like, so they're cracking jokes, but like in all seriousness, the realities of the stories are coming out at the same time, and it's just it's so it was interesting as a young person coming up in the music for the music. Creating a career to listen and hear and play with the different individuals, Sonny Fortune and George Coleman. And George Coleman would play fast songs. So I got a chance to just like play fast. And I'm like 23, 24. So it's just like fast stuff. So it's like you got to think about it differently.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that now. That's not what I was thinking about then. It's like
sweating bullets, I'm certain. Goodness. Well, you know what? You're playing with actually somebody on this album that you can hear underneath. It's the Spin Quartet in Circles. So tell me about this story.
So
Chad McCullough,
Jeff Bradfield, Clark Summers, and that was just an interesting, man, just playing. At that time I was living in Idaho. Everybody knows about Idaho time, right? 2 years.
For your school.
I taught out there. So during that time, Chad
labeled
McCullough,
as the what was it, the
performing school of what was it called?
Teacher that has an alter ego that's jazz.
That was my early career.
Okay.
Teacher has an alter ego, and that was back in the Velvet Lounge days in Chicago. And we can go there too.
Let's go, let's go. Idaho days.
But this was created. We played this and recorded this in Seattle. Chad was living in Seattle. Jeff Bradfield and Clark Summers was living in Chicago at the time. I was living in Idaho at the time. But of course, I'm by way of Chicago. I'm from Chicago. I've played with Jeff. Jeff knew me when I didn't read music that well. Jeff Bradfield.
So this is definitely full circle.
And so it was Jeff Bradfield and then Clark Summers. And I've known Clark Summers since he was coming up in his early time. And then Chad McCullough was super younger. And just so Chad was headed this up, spearheaded this and made this happen. And had a sound in his head. And I literally just listened to this the other day and I was like, what in the world? Why haven't I been listening? And it's good.
Okay. So we're gonna check out Oranges Are Supposed to Be Orange or Supposed to Be Orange. Yeah, we're gonna check that out in just a few moments. I'm excited to listen to it.
For you drummers out there.
For the drummers. You're listening to the drummer, Kobie Watkins, and you're also listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series. And oh man, I'm in for a treat. I hope you are too. So let's listen to a little bit more of this song. We're gonna go into Oranges Are Supposed to Be Orange at member supported radio 90.7 WNCU. 90.7 WNCU member supported radio. How are you feeling, everyone? You're listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series today. We take a moment from the jazz stage and we are here remodeling, remolding, and you're listening to Kobie Watkins share stories of his life as a musician, and how these many musicians that have come, that he's played with, have shaped and molded him. Namely, in particular, the song that we just heard, or the album that we just heard, the Spin Quartet in Circles. And you were telling us stories about these artists, and any particular story about the song.
No, we had total freedom. I like that
Cool.
part of it in the studio. We didn't feel like we needed to go in and generate. We were playing already and playing out, and had like small tours in Seattle and Portland. And we were just doing stuff and playing enough to accomplish music, to have that as a go-to, like, we could just say, all right, let's play, and it sound like us. We were like, oh, okay, man, that works. That sounds like connecting.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to have. That's really important when you get to the band stage, to the bandstand. How can you can connect?
Yeah.
Like, you're going on a date with whomever, and you're like, man, how can I connect with this person and make this either a resource or a relationship, whether it's an intimate or resourceful relationship.
Yeah.
How can this, where am I, why am I spending this time if there's nothing on it? So
Exactly. You have to connect.
So connecting on stage, and not just like, fulfilling your chop dreams, you know, some
of
stuff.
the cats, on the album definitely fulfilled those chop dreams, because wow,
within the
slashing.
music, absolutely,
Yes.
yeah. Just play what you have within the music. I think is really important. We were talking earlier, like, who am I listening to? Man, so many musicians, they could play.
Yeah.
They could just play the music, and it's like play some music, but they had something to say with because your vocabulary and your
that's important.
So you look at James Baldwin, he had a life. He has all these books, right? So it's like he had something to say in all these books, right? And so every time he came to the stand, he had something to say. In an interview, he had something to say.
Yes, he did.
So as we practice and write and develop these CDs or whatever, the way we market our music today, it's like we have something to say after a while when we're able to. And I love that. I love
that too, because you helped out a lot of youth doing that. I know with Wynton Marsalis, you teamed up with him, and also you had a lot of mentoring programs.
Yeah. So and that was shucks. So that was a random thing.
Wow,
oh my gosh!
Really, was it random?
It was so random because I was lending Hurl and Riley my drums.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna need to get there. So I got to the church, some church that I believe Brother Wynton played at the night before, and then Hurlin was in the room, and so we just kind of had a chat or whatever. And I told him, hey, I got some sonars, yada yada yada, whatever. So he was like, all right, bring them, blah blah blah. So we get there, I bring them, blah blah blah, but then like it was a social connection with children, so I was able to connect and play along with the kids in a jam session / a master class / blah blah blah, and it was cool, and it was at the as a matter of fact, it was at King High School in Chicago.
Martin Luther King High School.
King High School in Chicago.
I was making you work for that one.
No,
sorry about that.
No, you know what, my history.
My
I
apologies.
love my history and where, because I got a great friend who I only went to school with for a minute. He was teaching there. I don't know if Benjamin, I don't know his last name right now, but he was teaching there for years.
Yeah, but teaching them jazz, that's powerful. I mean, I didn't understand how powerful it was, to learn the art form and just the combination of obviously
teaching them music to swing.
There we go. Okay, well, teaching them music to swing, but I mean, there's the science and the math and
Yes.
the reading. I mean, that all goes hand in hand as
Yeah.
well. But yeah, teaching them
Teach you how to swing, because that's what we.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, because that's what we did, right? Because that's what, when you look at any situation, it's like, man, we teach these cats to swing, or teaching them how to be. How to alter the sound.
Yes.
Right? We're not teaching them. Yeah, we're teaching them fundamentals, right? Because they need to be able
So
to play.
that's important too.
They need to be able to play a whole note. When you listen to any of the greats, they could play the simplicities well, quarter notes and whole notes. What swung the hardest were quarter notes when you look at it. Ba 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 da right, the downbeats, the upbeats, but it was just like those simplicities. It wasn't a bunch of those count. We can play those, but but man, can you make a statement with ba 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 ba? But make it.
We got to take a short pause for the calls for a minute. We are still here, WNCU 90.7. I'm enjoying this conversation with you, talking about swing. This is Kobie Watkins in the studio here at WNCU Cares Artist Series. We're going to get back to your conversation and your music in just a short moment. .7 WNCU member-supported radio. Andrew Carroll on Flower Petal, but Kobie Watkins is in the building, and he was telling us stories about some great things. I mean, I'm floored here. But you're listening to the drummer, composer. Now, you composed on your album. This is your album, Involved. Why is it? Is it a double meaning by involved?
Oh man, yes, that was involved. Yes, because there was a lot going on during that writing period. So I had started writing that during my grad school years at Northwestern. Like moving on. That was from a relationship.
Okay. Let's go ahead and hear about that one.
No, you don't.
Oh no, we won't do that one. Okay.
No, you're gonna pass on that one.
It might bring
that's a past.
Some memories.
No, actually, there's no memories other than just moving on.
What about Congo?
Congo, and I didn't write that one.
No.
So that was a Harold Mims again.
Okay.
So we did grad school together, and he was like, man, this is going to be it, man. We're not going to talk no more. This is going to be it, man. I know you're going to go on and do no, man. So then I called him, well, I had been talking to him on and off anyway. So it was just like, but then I was like, Harold, you're going to have to write me 2 songs for this album. You doing an album? I'm like, yes. And then he produced it. So, he wrote Congo and Third Pew. Just being able to chit chat with me every day in grad school.
So you have a connect with the Congo in a way?
I do actually too.
Okay.
And this was this before Congo? When did I? 2009. So yeah, I had been to Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. Yeah.
How was your experience? That sounds fun.
It was really good and really informative, and we got pulled over and got checked the last day.
Why?
We almost got our passports taken.
Because
that's, if you know that, I guess.
Did they think that you were
that particular political system was very different. So at that time, the capital was Kinshasa, and so we weren't there. We were in, oh my gosh, where were we? We were not in Kinshasa. We were someplace else. I'm trying to remember. Lubumbashi. Lubumbashi is where we were. And Lubumbashi is very different, vastly different from Kinshasa. So it's they still have a mob law there, and there was still the city had been torn apart a lot.
Wow.
So there was a lot of mistrust in any vehicle driving that didn't look appropriate. So we were in a some type of, diplomatic vehicle. Okay. They stood in front of the cars, and we're not talking about just people. We're talking about uniformed individuals, and they only let us. They only let us go because there was a person in the car that could talk them down, and they saw one specific passport, and that was the only way we were able to go on.
My goodness.
So then we went on.
Now you were with the...
I was with actually Jeff Bradfield that morning.
Okay.
Jeff Bradfield is funny.
Okay.
And Ryan Cohen, which I forgot to bring music for that. I had played with Ryan Cohen for years also prior to leaving Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was Ryan Cohen and Lauren Cohen, and we had played together. It was through the U.S. State Department.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Jazz Abroad in the Lincoln
Nice.
Center. Yeah.
Nice.
So
nice. Congratulations with that.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I know. It's like you get these opportunities to go across to another country and play for someone, and then, but they have another set of rules, you know. So how, you know, your experience, but as a musician, that didn't matter. You didn't have a set of drums in front of your face when you're driving in the car. You know, like, exactly.
It's like you just another Joe, and you're worse off because you're black and in a different type of vehicle that you really shouldn't be in. So, and then we're talking about 2008, 2005 was really when Rwanda, 2002, 2001 was when Rwanda ended, but Africa felt it everywhere.
Oh, well, the listeners are going to feel this song. So let's go ahead and give them a dose of this Congo.
Oh, yeah.
Here at Member Supported Radio 90.7 WNCU. Congo. That sounded great.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, let's thank the composer.
Yeah, Harold Mims. Yeah.
Wow.
I called him on my birthday, actually. I was like, Harold, man, I woke up stressed out, man. He was like, first of all, what are you doing? I was like, I'm jogging.
Right.
And so it was funny. He calmed me down and talked me through it. I was like, man, I had a dream about this and I had a dream about that.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, man, I've been there. You're like, Harold, he's like 62. And he's like, all right, first of all. So it's good. It's like a big brother, man. Yeah, big brothers. They've always been there to help. Bobby Broom, Branford, Willie Pickens. Oh my goodness, Kurt Elling.
Yep.
There was a time I'd be on the road, man. Randomly, it would be so random. I call Jeff Tain. I'm like, Tain, man, what do you think about the sound? Yada yada yada. This. No, man, just play, man. I'm like.
Just play. Wow. Just play.
Who else would I call? Billy Drummond, man. He's another good cat, man. It's so many older brothers out there that have been just like really cool about downloading information. And then even my peers like Gerard Harris and James Austin and my brother Asa, he plays drums. Like he and I, we share the same birthday.
Wow. Your birthday is July
26th. Yeah.
There you
So
go.
he was born the same day. We were 2 peas in the pod. So
What sign is that? That's Cancer?
Leo. Man.
Leo.
Yeah.
Leo.
So I get all these Leos out here in Cancers. I get along. I get along with everybody if I can.
Nice.
But it seems like when I'm around a Cancer and I find out, I'm like, oh, that's the reason why, because we're kind of genuinely connected. So
we're all connected, right?
Yeah. But then again, there's that too.
What was that quote by Alexander Dumas? Today I just.
Oh right, you got to pull it up.
All are one and one are all. All for one and one for all. My goodness. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining our conversation. This is WNCU Cares Artist Series with Kobie Watkins, drummer Kobie Watkins. You're listening to stories that he has a lot of stories, great stories to share, and he has a wealth of musicians that he's performed with, and he actually has his own project. Now, you're listening from his album currently, Kobie Watkins Group Tet Moment. It's the name of that.
Movement.
Oh,
yeah, and that's been
Let's go ahead and read that again.
No.
Movement. For my sake. But yeah, that was Inner Motion that we're listening to right now. So you have Inner Motion. Is that about like the constant movement?
So the actual song is based on the actual bass line.
Okay.
The inner motion in the bass line, boom, 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 doobie, boom, boom. I might be out of tune, oodie, boobie. So then you think about that song, that movement, and how the things that are connecting that movement, the inner motion of that movement, is what I was thinking about, and then how I was thinking about it even at that time. Drew, it was, I guess, a physical inner motion. Is where I was coming from. So,
like the continuation of a heartbeat or a pulse, or
yes. And there's I wrote some of this stuff down, and I'm just like, it's absent of me now.
So it sounds like it's a progression, a cycle. Like it just keeps on growing.
It is.
Okay.
It is. And it's complete and incomplete, even in the melody, in the statement.
Well, let's hear this complete and incomplete melody and statement. Inner Motion, Kobie Watkins, WNCU Cares Artist Series. WNCU 90.7. You're listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series with Kobie Watkins, and that was Kobie Watkins and his comrades on Inner Motion. I do believe I had that correct.
John Armstrong, yeah. Justin, oh my gosh, why am I forgetting everybody's name right now all of a sudden?
Let me help you out.
Justin Nilsson.
You got it.
Ryan Nilsson and Aaron. My goodness.
Miller.
Sorry, Aaron Miller. Sorry, y'all guys. If you're
Yeah, I
listening.
know, right?
I'm
It
not sure
doesn't
if
matter
y'all
for me,
listening,
but
my
yeah.
goodness, right now my brain is just went.
They're going to see it on YouTube.
Yeah,
so.
they probably will. So don't be mad. I was like that on stage too. Like I get
really?
weird. I'll have like these moments where I'm like talking and then it's like I forget the names like immediately. I'm like, yeah. And
But you remember the moment, right?
I try to.
The movement.
I try, but
Mhm.
the movement in the moment always kind of mix sometimes, and
For sure.
it's just terrible. But yeah, they were able to help me make that music come alive that much more because I recorded it prior to in 2013, and it didn't feel, connect as well as it did when we recorded it in 2017.
I mean, if you know the changes, then you could connect with them.
Well, it's not
right?
even about
it's
the
not about that?
For me, it's never about the changes. It's never about the beat. Is there some, again, we go back to
Feeling,
connecting.
yeah.
The feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel? How can we play a standard together and it feel like something more than just like us, like
Reading the notes.
yeah, playing some notes.
Yeah.
You know, so that's these guys, they make music.
What is that essence called that when you connect with, that feeling, the moment?
Synchronism.
Okay.
Gel. This is, I don't know.
Somebody
Words, huh?
I was going to say, someone who could really gel or connect was Stevie Wonder, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And I know you did one of his.
I did one of his songs, Taboo to Love. And I sat, and that was like one of my good transcriptions. It had so much because of, again, that's from my Involved album.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot going on in my brain and life going. So it's just like that song was, I used to listen to that song the way I used to watch Mo Better Blues. It was almost every night for 2 years. Sit in my bed, get home from either a gig or school and watch Mo Better Blues. Or I would just listen to Taboo to Love. So, and I transcribed it, and I just wanted to have that. So,
but you have Bobby Broom on this.
Bobby Broom is he's playing Stevie Wonder.
Okay, let's
the role of Stevie.
The role of Stevie, Bobby Broom, Kobie Watkins on drums, and we actually are getting to the top of the set, so we're gonna play this song, play another Jared, the song entitled Spider Web. But ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series with Kobie Watkins, and when we return, more Kobie Watkins and member-supported radio 90.7 WNCU. 90.7 WNCU. Welcome back to the second hour of WNCU Cares Artist Series with Kobie Watkins in the building. Wow, ending on this high note. This song is from your album Movement, and that was The City.
Yeah, no, that was in.
Did I have that wrong?
Yeah, don't worry about it. This is good. It's a good song. That's from Involved. And
Oh man, I did the whole thing.
No.
I had it planned and everything.
That's
No, it's from it all sounded great.
And Expressions. That's the name of it. Expressions.
Expressions.
Yeah, we need that. We need that.
We do need that. Oh, you've been expressing yourself a lot today. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And I know there are more musicians out there that have a voice. So, let us know. This is WNCU Cares Artist Series with Kobie Watkins, drummer. And so now what are you doing? I mean, today this world is what it was and what it is. And you're a musician that may have lost tons of gigs. I mean, by the looks of it, you've played with so many people.
Yeah. Even Beyonce's sitting at home today.
She's sitting at home.
At least that's what I heard. But no.
But thinking of a master plan.
Right? Yeah, I think it's really. This is a conversation my brother and I we have pretty consistently about figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like musicians. Philly Joe Jones was a streetcar operator in Philadelphia. Before he became a jazz musician, before he became an R&B musician, before he became one of the top most recorded drummers, he would do 2 or 3 recordings, a maximum of 3 recordings a day. So, and then what was that, 1950s, from 1954 to 1962, Philly Joe Jones recorded like twice a day, and he was playing with the great quintet, the Miles Davis Quintet, with Mr. John Coltrane and Mr. Miles Davis, and oh my goodness, why am I forgetting his name right now on piano? But Mr. Paul Jones, Mr. PC, Paul Chambers, and
there we go.
the piano player.
Look, I'm telling on myself too. I'm telling on myself too.
So, but he was playing with them and still going out and doing recording sessions and recording with them and gigging. And, there was a time, that's what he arrived at after the streetcar, doing that. But, moved up to New York and lived with Mr. Tootie Heath. Mr. Jimmy Heath. In an apartment, so which was really, really cool. That's a cool story if you read it. And then, of course, I've heard some good small anecdotes about those times when the great brother Jimmy Heath was alive. He gave me some good inside scoops on those. That was nice. But I digress a little bit. When you think about things that you need to do and how you need to, like, humanity for our first thing when we wake up in the morning is survival, right? We need to figure out how to survive, how to not
map out your day.
So straight, map out the day, not have so much anxiety. I'm a thinker, and this is something I guess I've always done, and I've always been able to try and invest in myself, is to think beyond the scopes of the everyday, or think that everything is going to be the same. So
so you've been playing music or just thinking about playing music?
That's exactly right.
That's exactly
I had
right.
I guess for that first, so the first week of this whole thing that's happening, I stressed out a bit. I even had a panic attack slightly.
I'm certain.
So, and it was this just real talk, so. And it was just like not about not playing the music, but like, oh, what if this was to happen to me? I got my wife and these 2 boys and yada, yada, yada. So it was like a panic attack, right? My wife was able to like calm me down. She was like, stretch out and here's some tea. And I was just like, okay, great. I feel great. I went to sleep. As a thinker, I'm just like going the route that everybody else is, and I'm just doing stuff online.
You have to. I mean, so
but not doing stuff online the way everyone else is doing stuff online.
So, I got you.
Yeah, there's a different way to do things online.
Yeah.
So musically speaking,
So
musically speaking, it is not musical at all. But musically speaking, because I am a musician, I
Mm-hmm.
think about the music industry when I'm doing it. And so when I'm done doing it, being certified to do that thing that I want to do as
So vague you are.
Yeah, I am
It's
gonna stay.
okay,
I'm
though.
gonna stay in the vague area
Understood.
because then people, when they see me, they'll have a question.
That would be great.
And I've always, but it's online. It's something that deals with what we're going to be dealing with for the next generations of life, and that's being connected and clearly being online driven. So, but I won't be selling you anything per se.
Well, can't if artists or if musicians want to hear this fabulous music that I'm listening to and I'm really taking it all in, could they find you online anywhere?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
the music is definitely still online. It will always be online.
Definitely on Spotify for sure. You can
Yeah,
find it on
and Bandcamp and what
sites.
else? SoundCloud and what else? Is it on iTunes? I don't even know anymore.
Not certain, but
yeah, but you can get it. Oh, you can definitely get it on YouTube.
For sure.
So you can go on YouTube and you can probably snap it. Man, you know what? If you need to have it, just like, ask me and I'll send it to you. It's music.
because a lot of people know you in at least Durham. This is the purpose of.
It's a shared a spiritual experience.
Yes.
So like you can have
Agreed.
it. It doesn't have to. You don't have to. Yeah, I know you got to pay for this and pay for that.
Ah.
And it's like,
okay.
I was talking to my mom not that long
Yeah.
ago. I'll make it quick. This will be a short story. But I was telling my mom, I was like, Mom, when when you're born, right? I've had a son. I have two sons now, right? When they were when they came out the hospital, it cost money for them to be born, right? And as
for
we
sure.
live day to day, like from the time you're a baby to the time you're about 15, 16 years old, when you start wanting your own money, then it's just like, okay, I want my own money. So then you start having to pay, right? You want to pay for a cell phone, or you want to pay for this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a job. So then you got to work. So then from, 17, 18, 19 years old, then you got a job. Then you're working the rest of your life. Right?
Yep.
So you're born, living.
Born to work.
You're born working. getting paid for it. Then you work the entire life. You got to pay. And then when you die, guess how much it costs for you to die?
I don't know.
You got to get buried, right? Somebody's got to pay somebody to put you in the ground, or still the guy that's going to cremate you's got to get something, right? So it's like,
So have you put that into
so
your,
when I think it's so important that we not pay for some things, not pay for everything.
So bottom line is your album is for free.
And life is for free, really. When you
There we
want to
go.
live, you need to live, right?
Words from Kobie Watkins.
It needs to be said, because nobody wants to say, what needs to be said anymore, and everybody's opting out, and everybody's walking away from the, from the positive. The positive is let's live, let's connect, let's reconnect, let's
reconnect.
Let's not. Let's think. Let's be clear thinkers. It's not, we don't always have to. It's not about rivaling. It's not. That's not. But we can think and still say, this person's great, or this situation's good. So I'm not beating down the be overly positive. But be optimistic with positivity, and be thoughtful and mindful of that's going around, and know that if it all has to make $1 and cents, then what are we really doing?
What are we doing? Right now we're listening to your song Spastic from your album Involved, and we're gonna go for it. We're gonna listen to it, and we're gonna be right back with Kobie Watkins, WNCU Cares Artist Series. 90.7 WNCU member supported radio. No, carry on the conversation. No. That was
I don't want him to catch all this on me.
No, not right now. It's getting great in here. This is WNCU see, like I can't even speak today. This is great. WNCU Cares Artist Series with Kobie Watkins. More than the musician today. That's the name of this the show. But the song you just heard was called "The City" with Kobie Watkins, Jonathan Armstrong on tenor saxophone, Ryan Nielsen on trumpet, Justin Nielsen on piano, and then Aaron Miller on acoustic bass. That's right, off of the album Movement.
You should have saw the way we had him in the bass. He had like stuff because we recorded open in the open. We recorded in this big room. The ceilings were like 100 feet high.
Wow,
it was great.
That's a good mixer.
Oh my gosh, yes. Jason Richmond.
Wow,
he's right from here. We brought him up. The school brought him in. So this was at Brigham Young.
Studio here?
This was at yes, he does. He has a mixing room here. But Brigham Young University in Idaho brought him out and was able to fund this album. So it's not even their per se product, but it kind of is because they brought in workers to set the room up, break the room down. They had their sound engineer there. They had someone tuning the piano for us.
Wow.
And okay, so if we go back to the conversation we just had about kind of giving things, those people got paid from the school, but it cost me nothing.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Thank God. And so you have to wonder.
Thank you, God. Yes.
What are you doing when you always charging? What are you doing when how much?
For sure.
I won't even go there.
But
it's
for a tea conversation.
It was Oh my gosh, I love tea. So with ginger root. So what are we doing and how are we doing it? And I think it's really important that we, if musicians out here, if we want to go record today, you got some music you want to go record, guess what? The same amount of money that you're making is the same amount of money the engineer is making right now in this time. So come up with a plan, come up, figure it out between the two parties and say, man, I want to record. This is the best time to record. You got music, you have ideas, you have feelings about where you are. You're waking up every day and there's either anxiety or something in you that's saying, I want to go make this music work and go do it. I think this is the right time to go do it.
Time is now.
Everything is digital. So you don't have to go and get it all pressed and released and everybody come and listen to it. You know what? You can have it pressed, released, and sent. It can be right there online. It could be on your website. It can be blah, blah, blah. But you know what? We're like, figure it out. Everything now is at your fingertips. You have internet at home. You have people that can engineer and want to make things happen in studios or not in studios. Like I just said, we recorded this album not in a studio. We recorded it in the band room in Idaho. So but some
digital is everywhere you want to be.
Digital is where so
maybe
come up with some great acoustic options and record and play some music and stay connected. You can do that. It's all love. If you just try.
Let's try it. We'll keep on trying because what we're listening to is actually MBDC, another recording from the same album that was recorded in the classroom.
Yeah, right. It wasn't. Right. It is a classroom too. Like they do, all the different things in there. So it's like, it's one classroom. Of
the mixes of Jason Richmond. This is the drummer Kobie Watkins. You're listening to the man with many talents here. Member supported radio 90.7 WNCU. 90.7 WNCU. WNCU Cares Artist Series. Kobie Watkins on MBDC. And that was the same group you heard previously. Kobie Watkins on drums, Jonathan Armstrong tenor, Ryan Nilsson trumpet, Justin Nilsson, brother and pianist of Ryan Nilsson, and Aaron Miller on bass. Wow, that was nice and moving.
Yeah.
Bright.
I wrote that real fast. I wrote that in line coming through customs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was standing in front of Bob Cranshaw, great bassist. And so, man, I just heard this. And this is back when they had the BlackBerry. So
wow.
I pulled my BlackBerry out and I was like, and he turns around, he goes, man, what are you doing? I go, man, I heard this song, man, I got to put it in there. And it's probably like, I don't have that BlackBerry anymore, but you can hear like the conversation.
Wow.
And he goes, shh. And then he started laughing. No, Bob was great. Bob, he was so funny. He was like, shh, they're going to put us out of here. And then his eyes got big. You know they're going to put us out of here because we black, right?
Oh, man.
I said, man, I was like, and I actually stopped because that's kind of true. So, because they get us first. And then it's customs too. So everything is precarious in the customs line. But anyhow, I mean, so we were talking about before that. I know you probably should bring it up, but I'll bring it up because I was talking about the freedom of musicians and things that we should do. And in concert with the fact that all those musicians that were just on that album were from Brigham Young or play in Idaho. So Brigham Young University is the school that they call me a guest lecturer, but I teach drum set.
Yeah.
And I teach drum set and I do master classes there, which is really nice. So there was a time where I used to fly out there twice a semester and teach lessons, and then do a master class with the percussion section and the jazz department. So now I do the drums and lessons online, and that's about that. But it was fun flying back and forth out. It was not fun, but it was because I'm not a flyer, but I fly. So every time I cross that threshold, I'm like, thank you, God, but you it's on your hands because
for sure
I can't fly this thing. So
you could learn though with all your many trades.
Yeah, no.
Okay, right.
I can't look out there on that, and I like we flying, we're going up. You know,
not yet.
But so then when I'm home, I'm with the Triangle Youth Jazz with jazz band. That's another band with youth musicians that I conduct. And that's with the Philharmonic Association. So that's always fun, and we're about to start that, and it'll be in person.
Okay, that's good.
And like in front of the band. Rehearsals starting in September. So
his music is connecting. It
really is about a connection, and that's something that the youth, have to figure out what you're going to do so that your career is not snatched from under you like a rug. You have to figure out what's going to be your balance, in person or not in person. How can you restructure, and create the new normal of how music's going to be played, produced, presented, and received. Yeah. Because what we used to do and how we used to do it and the way that we used to do it is no longer always comfortable for some of us and some of them being the audience. So how can we present this music? How can we talk about the music? How can we produce this music in such a way that still connects us as humans in society and does not take away so much that's being taken already. So
that's a good place to think. You are a musician. You've been in the musician game for quite some time, and now you've grown throughout that, and you're using your career to, or at least you as a human, a thinker, like you said, to take this music beyond what you've been accustomed to. But the music that you make is really good.
Thank you.
You've played with some really great players, a lot of great players, and namely the ones that I'm listening to right now. Of course, Bobby Broom and Sonny Rollins and George Freeman, and the list goes on.
I did George Freeman. Was it George Freeman? I did play with one of the. I definitely.
Did I have that wrong?
No. I did play with a George Freeman and because I played the Chicago. It was 1997, 98, the fall of 98, the Jazz Fair, I think it was, and that's where I met the first time. There's a drummer. I cannot remember his name, but he was a famous drummer in Chicago. God, I don't know.
It escapes you.
It does, and so I've been around and exposed to. So, oh. Man,
there it is.
How about this? No one knows this name really unless you've been around. Fred Hopkins, bassist.
Okay.
He played with David Murray. Fred Hopkins was a bad dude, man. Gosh.
How bad was he?
Oh, my goodness. Fred Hopkins, man. We played together at the Velvet Lounge. Oh, my goodness. Fred Anderson.
Okay.
Famous tenor saxophonist. Oh, my goodness. The Velvet Lounge.
Yeah.
Von Friedman. Oh my goodness. Again, Willie Pickens. Oh my goodness. So many great older gentlemen. My teacher, my high school teacher, Mark. What's his name? Strickland. I don't know his first name. I know I called him Mr. Strickland, and he's a trumpet player. Walter Strickland. That was his name, Mr. Walter Strickland. And I came into the band playing trumpet first, right?
Okay.
Jazz band. I was playing trumpet, trying to play trumpet. So he walks out the room because at that time, teachers could walk out the room, and kids, we had enough sense to not do anything too drastically.
There you go.
Out of pocket. And so he comes back in the room, and we playing, and I'm playing drums.
Yeah.
And because the kids were like, man, you can't play drums. So, I've been playing in church forever. So I'm sophomore year. I'm like, yeah, I can play drums. So we start playing, and he walks back in the room. He looks up, he goes, you're no longer a trumpet player.
Exactly.
You're a drummer.
And you can tell from your music. Certainly I'm going to get to that in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I have thoroughly enjoyed this set with Kobie Watkins. Thank you so much for being in the station.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming here. I look forward to having off-air conversation with you.
Yeah.
And we're going to play one more of your songs before we get to the top of the set and before DL show starts with Afternoon Jazz. This is WNCU Cares Artist Series with Kobie Watkins. And the song I'm going to leave you with is Bile Atemporal. Did I pronounce that right? Bile, B-A-I.
Oh, is that from the Spin Chop?
That's from you. Yeah, let's
I'm
go
hitting the
for that
mic
one.
and stuff, y'all.
No,
y'all
it's
should see
okay.
me. I'm
Or we could do the crocodile
nervous.
one.
No, do that one.
Let's do that one.
Bahia.
See,
Yeah.
thank you for.
Yeah, that's the Brazilian thing.
It's about.
I love trying to say words from different languages because, especially when you're there,
that.
When you're there, they appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. And so when I was in Russia, I tried because I like that more than I like German.
Oh, okay. Yeah, different
it's
sound
vastly
altogether,
different, but
sure.
it was smoother than German to me. So
there we go. Temporal.
And I made some good friends in Russia, so it's great.
Ah, okay. I went back to Brazil, but we're listening.
I made some great friends in Brazil too. I've been like 3 times, so yeah.
I look forward to going one day. But ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to WNCU Cares Artist Series with Kobie Watkins, and we're signing off. Stay tuned to listen to DL at 3 p.m. all the way until 7 p.m. and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good weekend, you all.
Thank you.
Bye.